envelope punch board. It's by We Are Memory Keepers, and it makes the tiniest little cutest envelopes. We're going to be making these little 2 by 2 inch note cards. They're just tiny little note cards that can go into the mini envelopes. These are a lot of fun. They just open up. They're fold over cards. Just open it up, and when they're folded over, they measure 2 by 2 inch. And I'm going to be doing all these today and just some really pretty floral designs that I've been working on. I love working with florals. I just think they're beautiful. So let me show you. Normally when I make mini note cards, I always use my bigger size that I have here. But on these only go to the smallest size you can use is a 2 by 3.5, and that's a little gift card size. So I have this little mini one that I've been using that goes smaller to be able to make these. Let me pull these over here, and they're just the cutest little tiniest envelopes, and they'll fit these 2 by 2s just perfectly. And just slide right down in there, fold it over, and you've got the cutest little mini envelope. So let me show you on these the measurements that I use for this punch board. So I'm sure if you've used these before, you know how to go through and read these, but if you don't, I'll show you real quick. This will be the card size that you're wanting. So in my case, I want the 2 by 2 size. Let me pull this up a little closer here. So this will be the 2 by 2 size. So I want to cut my paper 3 3/8 inch by 3 3/8 inch, and then I'm going to use the score line here that I'm going to cut, score it, I'm sorry, at 1 5/8. So let's just do that real quick. I move this over, and I've already cut this down. Got a few here. I like to do these 2 at a time so it goes a little quicker, and this handles that well. So I've cut this, like I said, this is at 3 3/8 inch by 3 3/8 inch already. So I'm going to make sure these are lined up here and put it in, and I want to score it at the 1 5/8 inch mark. And because I make a lot of these, I just went ahead and put me a little line right above that, so I don't have to, with my older eyes, I don't have to try to squint way down there and find it as much. So that's lined up perfectly there. So I just push the little button at the top, and I'm just going to run there's a little groove here that you can run that through. And then when I turn this over, I'm going to take this little groove, and it's going to line straight up with that one. And again, I'll give it a punch and score. So I'm not paying any attention anymore to those over there. It's just these where I've just made the groove. So punch and score, and I'm going to do that all the way around. Whoop. Slide it under there. There we go. Just didn't pop all the way up. And the last time, punch and score. Move that over. And then I'm just going to fold up each one of these little ends. Going round and round. And then because, of course, I only want to glue one at a time, I'm going to pull that out and fold this in. So you'll see sometimes, let me bring this up closer, sometimes this doesn't match up perfectly. So then I'll just turn it enough to where usually just one time does it, and it'll give you a perfect little spot. Now on the back of this, it does have a little groove if you want to go in, and it'll round it, you know, make it a round corner for you. These I'm just gonna leave like that. So let me pull in a piece of glue paper so I don't get this on my surface. And on these, I just want the very tip. I'm gonna glue and then catch these very bottom parts. Not gonna go up too high, just about like that. Fold it up, and I've got just a nice little mini envelope, and again it just holds these nicely. Slides right in. To seal this, you can use a sticker, you can just use regular glue, double-sided tape. I like to use I like to use these little adhesive squares. Just makes it easy to get it on and off. But these are a little bit longer. They fit perfectly on the bigger mini note cards. But for these, I'm going to cut off just the tip because they're a little bit too long and it kind of catches the inside of the envelope. So just a little bit I cut off, not much. And I'll put that at the top. And then when that folds over, it won't catch, you know, the inside of that. So that's how we do the mini envelopes. And let me show you my measurements for these the smaller note cards. So when I make my bigger note cards, I always have a section left over that's like, oh, I don't know, it's like 2 by 6 inches long. And I have a ton of them by the time I'm done. So I wanted to make some mini ones with these ends that were left. So this is a 2 by 4. Of course, if we want 2 by 2, we'll make it 2 by 4 and fold it over. And I'm just going to give that a little crease. And for my topper piece, all of these have the little floral patterns on them. That makes it so pretty then to have so many of them together. I'm just going to pull over this, and I've got a really pretty little piece of floral paper. And this is just going to be cut at 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. So it's just going to be a little bit smaller, of course, than the 2 inches. So just a quick cut and cut. And I'll save the little pieces, of course. Oops. And then for these, I just use my Elmer's glue. Stick glue. You can use a wet glue for these as well. Whatever kind of glue you have, I'll just center it up. And these you can just make in bulk. You can come through and decorate these with, you know, with gems and flowers, extra little sayings on the top you can cut out and put on. But this is just a nice little base for these little note cards. And then I sometimes like to go a step further, and I've got a little container here full of ones that I've made into little gift tags. So I've punched a hole up here in the corner and put string in it, and then of course you can come in here, you can stamp in to or from, or you can write your little note, and this can be attached to a gift bag or to a gift, or they make even little nice price tags if you're a seller. So many uses. Let me show you some of the patterns on these too. Are so pretty. I just love florals. So gorgeous. And I'll just use whatever I have in my stash and cut them down and just have lots and lots of fun. I do sell both of these kind in my Etsy shop. So if that's something you're interested in making, let me know in the comments if you make some, and if it's something you're interested in and just purchasing. I do have lots of these in my Etsy shop. So that's it today for these little 2 by 2 note cards and mini envelopes. And so like I said, if you don't have a mini one, I suggest getting one. They're not too expensive, and I use mine all the time. This is also great for making little gift cards for Christmas, and I'll be showing those here in just a couple weeks because we are getting closer to Christmas. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.